I hate to break it to Trump, but this story ain't dying anytime soon. Let's play this video.
What a massive unforced error by the Trump administration. Donald Trump would love this story to go away, but in fact, interest is climbing higher and higher, to quote Jackie Wilson. Look at this. Google searches for Epstein up 1,200% this week versus last. And get this, it is currently the top topic search.
Now, I will be raising the volume on this one. I do apologize for the low volume.
Trump on Google alongside his presidency. So Donald Trump normally, leans into stories in which there's controversy, like tariffs, for example. This is a story in which he's trying to get away from, basically saying, why is anyone still interested in this story? But the bottom line is people are very interested in this story to historic degrees, at least this week.
Give us some perspective. You see that 1,200 number about other stories in comparison, how people are viewing this one.
Yeah, okay. So, I mentioned tariffs earlier on, right? Epstein has been Googled a lot since Monday. He has actually been Googled 1.4 times as much as tariffs has been Googled. And that is, of course, a huge news story. How about Grok, which is another insane news story this week? I mean, my goodness gracious. But in fact, Epstein has been Googled 2.5 times as much as the Grok story has been Googled. So the bottom line is this is a story in which there's a lot of interest. And it's one of the few stories in which both Steve Bannon and Elon Musk are going after Trump. At least the Trump administration, he's managed to bring together two parts of the administration or two parts of the fan base that have normally been against each other.
Yeah, you can bet on anything, and this proves it. What are you seeing as far as whether or not people think that they will actually release these Epstein files?
Yeah, I know my buddy Vin from Jersey would love for the Trump administration to release more Epstein files. But get this, Trump releasing more Epstein files in 2025. This is the betting market odds. You go back 2 months ago, it was 43%. You go back even a month ago, it was 39%. But now it's just at 20%. I think that there are going to be a lot of the normally MAGA fan base who are going to be very disappointed. And this is all a self-inflicted error by Trump and the Trump administration.
Many in the administration were pushing all these conspiracy theories, promising bombshells when they got into office, and nothing.
It turns out what goes around sometimes comes around when you push conspiracy theories.
That is true. All right, Harry Enton, it is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Over to you.
Notice again, you had the media say what goes around comes around when you push conspiracy theories. There are stories, there are women who have come forward. Their stories seem very credible. I think it's important to point out that some of these women who have come forward, some of these victims have also been deceased or self-deleted under very mysterious and very disturbing ways. It should be noted that some of these people who have come forward have either fled the country or are hiding, and those that are in deep in the story have made sure that they remain to be hidden so that they never show their faces. Okay? So that's how bad this story is. But it's a conspiracy theory, and corporate media is saying it's a conspiracy theory. But look, I found something else here that caught my attention. And this is from a MAGA influencer going by the name of Misfit Patriot. But apparently, here, shout out to my friend Nico House, good friend of the show. Calling someone a terrorist for wanting to hold, again, PDF file elites and those who protect them accountable is Orwellian doublespeak meant to protect the state. In reality, dudes like this and the role they play are the most dangerous to society. This is from Hotspot. Again, Nico House has done some work for Hotspot. MAGA influencer Misfit Patriot says, "You're a terrorist if you care about the Epstein files."
Fucking deliver an Epstein.
Now, hold on. I'm sorry, the volume is low, so I will be raising the volume up on this.
Fucking deliver an Epstein list, or you're not going to win the next election that you can't even run in. What's the threat to Donald Trump? You're not threatening Donald Trump. You're threatening America. You're a fucking terrorist. You're holding this country hostage if you don't get your way. Sound familiar? Because the fucking left just did that for a decade. Fucking
Misfit Patriot. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for that, I guess. So if you're talking about it, I guess it makes you a bad guy, right? I guess it makes you a terrorist. Boogie, 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 boogie. Great. I mean, I know a lot of people were running on that grift, right? But I feel sorry for the victims, you know? Imagine it. 5 years, you had these people making a story about Jeffrey Epstein, and yes, even bringing in the Democrats. But now that the Trump administration is in charge, hey, look, we were promised transparency. So U.S. President Donald Trump has promised to release more information after criticism of his administration's handling of the trafficking of a case involving late financer Jeffrey Epstein is reaching a tipping point. After months of pledges to disclose the full case files, the Department of Justice said in a memo last week that no further documents would be made public, triggering a backlash even from some Trump's most closest supporters. This is from Attorney General Pam Bondi. President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end now. But I remember Trump and many Trump-adjacent people, many high-ranking influencers, saying that this was a elitist, globalist scam. What happened? Did your balls fall off? Did you get a phone call? No, they got a phone call. Ring. Here's how it is. Okay? Acting in real time. Are you ready? I'm going to pretend to be one of these influencer people who made a huge financial killing, millions of followers, got a big old cash check, right? Everyone, we can't let this story die. This is before Trump gets elected. We can't let this story die about Jeffrey Epstein. We can't let it die. Can't let it die at all. Trump gets in office. Ring. Hello? Listen, we got a paycheck for you. You either shut up about this Epstein stuff and move on. You're going to agree with the government and follow orders. Okay. I'll do whatever you want. Please, I need that check for that booger sugar. I mean, come on. I'm not saying a phone call like that happened, but you know, a lot of people now are twisting themselves or stretching themselves around, stretching themselves more than Stretch Armstrong. There you go. Pam Bondi confirmed that her office is ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts, though it remains unclear which documents will be released or when. Hey, listen, just a heads up. If you're a Trump influencer, I would not recommend showing up at all to the event because you'll probably be used again. Epstein was arrested in 2019 and charged as trafficking minors for sex. He allegedly hanged himself, self-deleted, in a New York jail cell before he could stand trial. His longtime associate, Miss Maxwell, was later convicted in conspiring with, again, abuse of underage people and is now serving a 20-year sentence. Although Epstein's death was officially ruled self-deletion, it's long fueled public skepticism. The Department of Justice controversial review concluded that there is no client list at all of Epstein's trafficking ring ever existed and found no evidence of blackmail. There were no grounds to investigate uncharged third parties, the memo stated. These findings appeared to contradict Bondi's earlier comments that the client list was sitting on her desk and that the FBI turned over a truckload, boatloads of materials that would make you sick. Bondi appeared to walk back those remarks, clarifying on Tuesday that she was referring to the case files on her desk in general. Oh, that's such a stupid lie, you stupid person. That's stupid. Earlier this week, Trump claimed only stupid people believe in the offender's alleged client list. Wasn't yet another Democrat hoax. Oh, my goodness. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing here. President Trump has also seemed to be so triggered by everything that he is even also indicating that he's going to sue the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Rupert Murdoch. What? So here's Trump. Here's what he wrote on Truth Social. The Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump, this is from Trump's own Truth Social, that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was fake news, fake. And if they print it, they will be sued. Mr. Murdoch stated he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Carolyn Levitt and by President Trump that the letter was fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, They're going with false, malicious, defamatory story anyways. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Murdoch shortly. The press has to learn to be truthful and not rely on sources that probably don't even exist. President Trump has already beaten George Snuffleupagus, ABC, 60 Minutes, CBS, and others, and looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. It was truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag, and writing defamatory lies like this shows their desperation to remain relevant. If there were any truth at all to the Epstein hoax as it pertains to President Trump, this information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and other radical left lunatics years ago. It certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. This is yet another example of fake news. Fake news. Fake news. And here's good friend of the show, Daniel Clancy, says, did we slip into a separate universe or something? Donald Trump Jr., fake news is the enemy of the people. Gritty is the way, says, apparently. What the F? I'm so confused. We even write, always been going through separate universes, my friend. And he says, yes, it's all very distorting. Yes, of course it is. It's very sad, too, when you see it. When you witness a sitting president actually go ahead and follow through with what? Suing a media outlet. Because here's the thing, everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody sees firsthand just what this administration is doing and the lengths at which they're willing to go to cover up a story. There is no way at all that you can just hide this. Like at all. You can't hide it. You can't just pretend after so many years now that this story remains relevant. And after going on the record, now Trump is going after all these other media outlets. So the thing is, I am not a fan of this, and this will continue to blow up in Trump's face. If Trump telling people stop talking about it, it's no. The more you say don't talk about it, the more you shine a light on it, the more people will talk about it, as they should. It's their right. And not to mention, this is the most prolific monster trafficker in international history. And you knew him, Trump. You knew him. There's videos and pictures of you at parties and events. You got your arm around him. He has his arm around you. You know, there's videos of you guys laughing and sharing jokes with each other. What else can be said here? You're not going to make us forget it.